Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Grand News right here on Crown Television. We're live on our Facebook page, that is CrownTVZambia. You can catch us on 277 on DSTV, 23 on GOVT and 89 on Topstar. Let's have a look at the headlines. CONCOURT clears Membe and DOLIKA. Government denies musicians ban. Real-life polygamist exposed. And in sports, Zambia makes J-League football Wild Games debut. To read the Grand News, my name is Chinyimba Daisy Lusumpa. And now the details. The Constitutional Court has ruled that Opposition Socialist Party presidential candidate Dr. Fred Membe and his running mate DOLIKA Banda are eligible to contest in the August 13th elections. The court's decision confirms that both candidates meet the constitutional requirements to participate in the upcoming polls. Let's have a look at the details.
The Constitutional Court has dismissed the petition challenging the eligibility of Socialist Party presidential candidate Dr. Fred Membe and his running mate DOLIKA Banda to contest the 2026 general elections. In its ruling, the court confirms that both candidates meet the constitutional requirements to participate in the upcoming polls, effectively clearing them to remain on the ballot. The case was brought before the court by governance activist Isaac Mwanza, who had sought a declaration that Mrs. Banda does not possess a Grade 12 certificate or its equivalent as required under Articles 101E, 110(2) and 266 of the Constitution. Mr. Mwanza further argued that Mrs. Banda's nomination for the August 13, 2026 general elections should be declared invalid. He also contended that because the presidential ticket is joint and inseparable under Articles 110 of the Constitution, Dr. Membe's nomination should also be nullified. In addition, the petitioner sought a court order under Article 52(6)(b) to disqualify both Dr. Membe and Mrs. Banda from participating in the presidential race scheduled for August 13, 2026. The petition further questions the academic qualifications of Mrs. Banda, arguing that her Cambridge OCR General Certificate of Secondary Education obtained in 1978 is not equivalent to a Grade 12 certificate. Mr. Mwanza named the Electoral Commission of Zambia as the third respondent, while the Attorney General was cited as the fourth respondent in the matter. A 7-member panel of Constitutional Court judges delivered the ruling on June 17, 2026, following the conclusion of submissions from all parties involved. The judgment, which was highly anticipated, has brought clarity to the legal requirements governing presidential candidates and their running mates ahead of the polls. Dr. Membe and Mrs. Banda were represented by lawyers Leon Lemba and Meluli Malisa Batakati. Shortly before leaving the court premises, Dr. Fred Membe spoke to the media, acknowledging the court's judgment, stating that they have done their job, not considering the fact that the judgment is in their favor, but it is a reasonable one.
I was wondering when they said they will come back to give the judgment in 1 hour. I was wondering what type of judgment it was going to be, but they have done their work. Yes. I haven't digested it fully, but from what I heard, it was a reasonable judgment. Not because it's favorable to me, but they have reasoned. It's reasoned. Even if it was not going to be favorable to us, but at least they have tried to reason. Give credit where it's due. Yes. And not because it's favorable to you, no. It was a good judgment.
Meanwhile, DOLIKA Banda says that if the judgment had gone the other way around, it would have not been a loss for them, but for the Zambian people. She adds that this was her first time attending court proceedings, and from what she observed, the judiciary had done its part in delivering a fair judgment.
I feel today is a new beginning, not just for us. I think it's a new beginning for us as a people. I want to thank the way the judiciary worked today. We are continuously criticizing. And again, I don't want to say it, as President had said, because the ruling has been in our favor. I want to say it because of the professionalism that I saw in that room today. It is my first time in court. I've never been in court.
Kundej, Sachingalasu, Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Government has dismissed claims that some local musicians have been banned from performing at state functions, describing the allegations as false and misleading. Addressing the media, Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts Permanent Secretary CONCOURT says government has not issued any directive verbally or in writing restricting any artists from participating in official events. Mr. Chileshe says official communication regarding artists follows established channels through the ministry, the National Arts Council of Zambia and relevant associations, adding that no such communication on banning artists has been made.
It is not government's position, as far as arts are concerned, that we've banned any artist from performing at state functions. That's not true.
Zambia is currently witnessing campaigns from various political parties contesting in the forthcoming general election. And at the core of these campaigns are campaign songs released by various local artists, some in support of the government, while others have taken a different political position. It is because of this development that allegations have been made suggesting that some local artists, such as Richie Busy, have been banned from performing at government functions due to their political affiliations. But government has dismissed these claims. Addressing the media, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts Permanent Secretary CONCOURT says no directive has been issued to stop any artist from participating in state functions and maintain that government remains open to engaging all artists.
The musicians in question have performed at functions for this ministry. I think you know very well that we had a launch of the Kaputa Stadium, and it's in public domain that they were the headlining artists. Chester, Rich Busy, Mozegeta, and many others were our headlining artists. It's a known fact that Chester performed at the Quimbo Music Festival under the Ministry of Arts. It's a known fact that Chester, Rich Busy, Mozegeta, and others performed at the launch of the Monze football stadium. And this was just about a month ago.
Mr. Chileshe, however, says artists should understand that individual organizers may take independent choices when selecting performers, which should not be mistaken for government policy.
We have not segregated, discriminated, ostracized any artist for whatever form of fashion, whether it's political, whether it's spiritual, whether it's whatever we want to call it. We haven't done it. We haven't banned anyone. Okay, that's one position.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana has urged members of the public to be cautious of misinformation and disinformation during the campaign period.
There will be a lot of misinformation and a lot of disinformation. Now, the difference is that the one that misinforms does so without knowing, but believing that the information they are giving out or spreading is true. But when it is not true, they are misinforming the public. But the one that disinforms knows from the word go, and the intention is to mislead the public. The intention is to cause harm. The intention is to raise alarm. And you will see a lot of such postings, especially on social media, from our colleagues on the other side.
Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
What started as what she believed was a normal marriage has turned into a real-life episode of The Polygamist for a 23-year-old woman who says she was stunned to discover she is the fourth wife of her 39-year-old husband. Instead of starring in a love story, 23-year-old Lumbiwe Njovu says they unknowingly found herself living in what she describes as a real-life version of The Polygamist. The mother of three says she was left speechless after discovering that her husband, 39-year-old Kennedy Jerry, had secretly married three other women, making her wife number 4.
Just like the most talked about Netflix movie known as The Polygamist, in Mtendere area lies a similar man with similar traits whose name is not Jonasi but Kennedy Jerry. Kennedy chose a path far different from the biblical teaching that says a man shall leave his father and mother, be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Instead, he linked himself to multiple women, slowly abandoning what the scripture requires of him. He did not settle for 1 or 2 wives. According to testimony heard in court, Kennedy ended up marrying 6 women. One of his wives, Lumbiwe Njovu, appeared before Magistrate Charity Milambo and told the court that Kennedy had promised her heaven and earth, including buying her a farm, but none of those promises were ever fulfilled. Lumbiwe says she agreed to marry Kennedy even after being informed that she would become his 4th wife. However, upon moving in with him, she was shocked to discover that there were already 6 women in the marriage, making her the 7th wife. She calmly told the court that the situation had become too much for her to handle and that she could no longer continue living with Kennedy. According to Lumbiwe, one of the most shocking discoveries she made was finding a bag full of ARVs medication belonging to one of her co-wives. She repeatedly told courts that she would never make such a mistake again, not even in her next life. Lumbiwe further testified that Kennedy once went to her mother's home demanding that the bride price be refunded, which was eventually paid back. However, every story has 2 sides. When Kennedy appeared in court, many wondered why he had dirt on his head and was wearing what appeared to be a white hoodie that had turned brown. He later explained that he works as both a miner and a farmer. In his defense, Kennedy did not dispute most of his wife's claims, but instead, he informed the court that he had previously issued her with a summons and that the matter was already before another court in Kabwe. He also presented documents to support his statement. After hearing both sides, Magistrate Milambo ordered that the matter be concluded in the court where it was initially filed before any further proceedings could continue. Kundej Sachingalesu Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
The country, Wednesday 17th June, marked the 5th anniversary of the death of Zambia's founding president, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, with a memorial church service at the Anglican Cathedral of the Holy Cross. Vice President Mutalina Lumango, representing President Hakainde Hichilema, paid tribute to Dr. Kaunda's enduring legacy as Zambia's founding father, a liberation icon and a statesman whose leadership played a pivotal role in securing the country's independence and advancing the liberation of Southern Africa. The Vice President has explained that Dr. Kaunda's immense contribution to national building through policies that promoted free education, infrastructure development, economic transformation, and national unity have continued to impact on many Zambians. She has noted that Dr. Kaunda's vision laid the foundation for Zambia's continued growth and development. She further called on Zambians to uphold the values that defined Dr. Kaunda's leadership, including patriotism, unity, hard work, and selfless service, saying that these principles remain essential in building a peaceful and prosperous nation. The memorial service was attended by government officials, members of the Kaunda family, church leaders, diplomats, and citizens from different parts of the country. The Independent Churches of Zambia has urged the current crop of politicians to draw lessons in humility, patriotism, and selfless leadership from the life of Zambia's second Republican president, Dr. Frederick Titus Jacob Chiloba. As the nation commemorates the 15th anniversary of Dr. Chiluba's death, ICON's Executive Director, Bishop David Masupa, says the late former head of state remains a shining example of a leader who consistently placed the interests of Zambia above personal ambition. Bishop Masupa says politicians should use the occasion to reflect on the values that defined Dr. Chiluba's leadership, particularly his commitment to national unity, democracy, and service to the people.
Do you realize that tomorrow you could be president in this country? You say, well, yes, so what? He says, yes, what you say today will matter tomorrow.
He is remembered by many as the father of Zambia's democracy, the man who championed the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation, and the country's second Republican president, Frederick Titus Jacob Chiluba. 15 years after his death on June 18, 2011, Dr. Chiluba's legacy continues to shape the nation's political, economic, democratic, and constitutional identity. Dr. Chiluba was among the leading figures who challenged the one-party state, a struggle that culminated in the formation of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD. Following MMD's victory in Zambia's first multi-party elections in 1991, Dr. Chiluba became the country's second Republican president, ushering in a new era of democratic governance. One of the defining moments of his presidency came in December 1991, when he declared Zambia a Christian nation, a declaration that was later enshrined in the country's constitution and remains one of his most enduring legacies.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus, our Lord, I rededicate this nation as a Christian nation. I know we are at war against the devil, but the devil can never win. The devil was defeated on Calvary.
And the Independent Churches of Zambia, ICOS, has paid tribute to the late former head of state, describing him as a gallant son of the soul who stood for justice and the interests of the Zambian people during a defining period in the country's history. ICOS President Bishop David Masupa says Dr. Chiluba's decision to declare Zambia a Christian nation continues to shine as a beacon of faith and national identity. Bishop Masupa says the late president also played a pivotal role in introducing democracy at a time when many Zambians had little understanding of multi-party politics. He says today's political leaders have much to learn from Dr. Chiluba's leadership, describing him as a patriotic leader whose loyalty was firmly rooted in serving the nation rather than personal interests.
The man is the father of democracy. The man is also the father of the rule of law, who instigated the democracy and the rule of law to thrive in the nation of our country, Zambia.
Meanwhile, Bishop Masupa has also highlighted Dr. Chiluba's contribution to the liberalization of Zambia's economy, saying the reforms introduced during his administration opened up opportunities for the private sector growth and laid the foundation for the country's modern economic framework. Bishop Masupa says, although opinions on Dr. Chiluba's presidency may differ, history will remember him as one of the country's most influential leaders whose contributions to democracy, economic reforms, and the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation remain an integral part of Zambia's national story.
He also promoted a liberal economic system in Zambia to experience what we are experiencing right now. The markets were open, the price control diminished, and he cancelled it when he became president.
We seek peace, dear God. Yes, the peace that cometh from you, not the peace of the world, but the peace that passeth all understanding.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
As a Christian nation, I know we are at war against
President Hakainde Hichilema has publicly apologized for what he described as a messy adoption process that characterized the ruling UPND ahead of this year's election. Speaking when he addressed the crowd at Choma Sports Club ground this afternoon, President Hichilema said he was aware that many party members were unhappy with irregularities during the process, where in some cases, more than one adoption certificate was issued to different candidates. President Hichilema cautioned the electorate against independent candidates, saying they should not be cheated into believing independence can deliver development. He urged voters to give him members of parliament and councillors that he can work with without difficulties. He cited free education as one of the key achievements, nothing that the policy has seen 2.5 getting back to school.
Adoption mumwito yagenda gabotu ndaliregerera ndime president wankama. I apologize for that. Right? Materera te mebona ulija bia hiyubi ndabola ntangalala wagalima adoption mumwi 2 certificates mumwi 3 tajirule mejiria. So I apologize for those messy adoptions, but now that we are here, we need to move together. Materera, bunjaga atubuhiye gunze, atulange election ibola, guliba ntubalanse ngwa ababagali mu government, twabanyanga gulya ma corruption bali nyemena nsengwawa. Na muhubale balamuzogola bulero babutola, na muganke guzwangana, Mulayana muhinza walo yiga nkoba itola. Zambia. So let us work in unity. Let us support the candidates that were adopted. Let us campaign for them for the president so that we can continue to do the things that we have been doing because we love this country. That's why we are doing the things that we're doing.
Thank you so much for that report. We now get to a segment called Letter to the President, where you can write your letter using SMS or WhatsApp to the number 0974-314807. That is 0974-314807. Tonight's letter to the President reads:
Letter to the President. Dear Mr. President, I am a beneficiary of the good development works that are being carried out in Chifuwu through our Member of Parliament, Mr. Luosha. I appreciate the efforts and leadership you have shown in improving our community. However, I would like to bring to your attention, Mr. President, a matter of concern. It has been reported that members of the opposition party are collecting voters' cards from people after paying them 50 kwacha. I reported this issue to the UPND Secretariat offices, but no action has been taken so far. Sir, this situation is affecting our ability to mobilize and campaign effectively because many people are left without their voters' cards. I kindly request you, Mr. President, to intervene so that this matter can be investigated and addressed promptly. Thank you, Mr. President, for your time and consideration. This letter is coming from Wadia Fred from Chifuwu in Dola.
Let's have a look at the weather forecast for tonight, Wednesday, 17th of June, 2026. Copperbelt, Luapula, Mochinga, Northwestern, Western, Central, Southern, Eastern, Lusaka, and Northern provinces are mainly sunny and slightly windy and mild to hot. Maximum temperature will range from 22 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. The evening is clear, slightly windy and mild to cool. This weather forecast is produced by the Zambia Meteorological Department that is under the Ministry of Green Economy and environment. This is the grand news. For now, let's take a break.
This June, step into a bigger entertainment experience with more to love on Us. We're talking more drama, more action, more unforgettable stories, all waiting for you. We're opening up our world of entertainment so you can view more. This June, pay for your current GoTV subscription and we'll upgrade you at no extra cost.
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwela's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Siatwambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road? But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
The ultimate business stage is back. From the 1st to the 7th of July, the trade fairgrounds in Ndola will be buzzing with endless opportunities. But how does your business stand out in the crowd? You get on the big screen with Crown TV. We will be live in Ndola, ready to take your brand straight into the homes of millions. From primetime commercials to exclusive event coverage, we create advertising that drives real results. Don't miss out. Visit the Crown TV stand in Ndola between July 1st and July 7th or contact our sales team today to secure your special trade fair advertising package. Crown TV. Feel the honor.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. The Alliance for Community Action has challenged the National Assembly to release the official division list showing how members of Parliament voted during the deliberation of Bill 7. This follows the naming of UPND members of Parliament who did not vote for Bill 7 by Republican President Hakainde Hichilema. Speaking in an interview with Crown Television News, SCA Senior Programs Officer Florence Siska says the organization has formally requested access to the voting records under the Access to Information Act of 2023 to establish what transpired during the parliamentary process.
A debate over the independence of members of parliament in the discharge of their duties has erupted following the revealing of 4 UPND members of parliament said to have voted against Bill number 7. Republican President Hakainde Hichilema recently named the aforementioned MPs, a development that has since triggered public discussion over how the voting process was conducted, especially as official results indicated that only 2 members voted against the bill.
That refused to vote for Bill 7, and I will name them: Gary Nkombo, Muchima, Samakai, and Mubanga. We don't want MPs like that.
It is for this reason that the Alliance for Community Action, ACA, has challenged the National Assembly to release the official division list to show how lawmakers voted on the day Bill 7 was deliberated. Speaking in an interview with Crown Television News, ACA Senior Programs Officer Florence Siska says access to information is necessary to promote transparency and allow citizens to understand how their elected representatives participated in the process. This request has been submitted under the Access to Information Act number 24 of 2023.
As the Alliance for Community Action, we submitted a formal request to access the division of votes list cast in Parliament on the particular day when Bill 7 was being deliberated on. We want to understand what really transpired on that day, and because we believe that access to information is a right and citizens must be given truthful and factual information regarding what happened on that day, especially concerning an important topic and legislation such as the Constitution of the Republic.
Ms. Siska further says releasing the voting record would help clear conflicting public narratives surrounding the outcome of the vote and strengthen public confidence in parliamentary processes.
Official division list is the most reliable way to clarify the record and dispel doubts about possible manipulation or misrepresentation, and reinforce public confidence in the integrity of parliamentary proceedings. In these circumstances, we believe that disclosure is clearly a matter of public interest. And as the country moves closer to elections, public interest in this information becomes even stronger. Voters are justified in asking what role their member of parliament played, how that vote was cast, and what reasons informed the support for or opposition to Bill 7.
Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
Residents in Zambezi Central Constituency have asked the government to repair the only dysfunctional borehole servicing the entire community. Residents of Kakosa, Nyachipopa and surrounding areas in Kasesi Chavezi Ward depend on the borehole for domestic use, which broke down 3 years ago. A resident, Felix Shombo, says repairing the borehole is expected to alleviate the hardship that residents have continued facing for the last 3 years. Addressing thousands of residents at a public rally at Nyachipopa Primary School ground, UPND aspiring Member of Parliament for Zambezi Central Constituency, Dennis Mano, told the gathering that his main priority once voted into office is to address roads and social amenities in the constituency. Patrick Mackay gives us details.
They have continued struggling with the severe water shortages that has persisted for over 3 years now, forcing them to cover long distances in search of the precious commodity. Access to water has become a major crisis in Kakosa and Nyachipopa areas of Zambia's central constituency. The community had hopes of having access to clean drinking water when the only borehole was drilled in the area about 3 years ago.
Langa tweli na apply mamenji kutaka kawota nsiwaleji kwa kulendi kandukalelo kwa mwena nukulu maleji matu afwete langa menji ya mweka na nukumweka na etu mulonga antu anavuli langa menji anakushupi kananka shimunyikala mudantu.
The situation, already there, has been excavated by the breakdown of the community borehole, leaving many households without any access to water. Felix Chombo makes a passionate appeal.
Chuna kuna menji akutaha muchulonga chuna kuimba chumashima. So yumo chuna ukabaka na mbandana kuya kumenji almost 5 hours. Akunya mkela 06 kufuma almost kujela mele la chuna kanga nyekudako sinsangu ya menji.
Aspiring Member of Parliament for Zambezi Central Constituency, Dennis Mano pledges to prioritize the real needs of the people if elected in the August 13th, 2026 general election.
Akamule mwatu nelukinetu nemukuvotela presidenti hakainde chilema mukuinkani voti Dennis Mano mukuinkani makansela yami tuna kunyina promise come 2026 December tuna kunyina ntela menji kuna kumule mwa na lishipa tuna nelukinetu muna kumona na kukala kwa menji so mulonga menji diu mine join.
Mr. Mano appeals for peaceful campaigns. As the crisis unfolds, the residents of Kakosa and Nyachipopa area remain hopeful that their voices will be heard and that agency action will be taken to restore a vital resource that is essential for their community's well-being. Patrick Mackay, Crown TV News, Zambezi.
As the country moves closer to Poll Day, the Zambia Police Service says it is fully deployed to ensure law and order are maintained in all communities. In Northern Province, the police command has praised political parties for the peaceful conduct recorded since nominations, but is now calling for continued discipline as campaigns intensify. Northern Province Deputy Commanding Officer Dr. Charles Mbita says unity among parties will make the police work easier and help prevent violence. Dr. Mbita has warned that the law will be enforced without fear or favor, as any unruly behavior, whether from opposition or ruling party cadres, will attract swift action. Details in this report.
One good thing about the law, it says whoever does this, the penalty is this.
As political campaigns intensify nationwide ahead of Poll Day, the Zambia Police Service says it is on high alert to maintain law and order in communities. In Northern Province, the police command has commended political parties for the peaceful conduct shown since nominations began. For the come to hold, police are urging all political players to stick to the campaign timetables set by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Police Deputy Commanding Officer Dr. Charles Mbita says unity among parties will make the police's job of keeping the peace much easier.
The nominations were very peaceful, even during campaign periods. Sometimes t-shirts push and embrace each other as brothers and sisters. Why should you fight?
Dr. Mbita warns that the law will be applied without fear or favor. And unruly behavior from opposition or ruling party cadres will face the full force of the law.
As police in Northern Province, we will not wait for the president to direct us what to do. No, because Article 193 of the Constitution of Zambia is very clear. It says police are there to preserve and maintain law and order. This election period is just a by the way thing. Our daily duties is to ensure that there is law and order in the country. Elections come and go, but police will always be there to maintain law and order. And we apply it fairly irrespective of who is involved. Whether we are from the ruling party or from the opposition, we shall deal with you on the same terms. That I can assure you.
Youths from various parties at the engagement also spoke out, saying they do not fight each other. They claim it is outsiders brought in from other areas who cause trouble.
Problem walawafunya mulanikani so mushishiye muri campaign ga chakutira mwana twafuwa kukutira ababafumu atwa mu start in 5 to start report at na baleta ko intruder bantu mono the province ngefuwa chiranda kanawesa mwachiranda takwali during a nomination takwali ifya mabara bantu twalibeka beka.
The police command in Northern Province says engagements like this will continue as part of efforts to ensure a peaceful campaign period leading up to Poll Day. Chanda Wellington reporting for Crown TV News, Kasama.
Thank you, Wellington, for that report. Still in the news tonight, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has commenced a nationwide training program for media personnel aimed at enhancing the quality and accuracy of election reporting ahead of the forthcoming elections. In Luapula Province, the 3-day training has attracted journalists and media practitioners from various media houses in Luapula, including Crown TV, as the Commission seeks to strengthen the media's understanding of electoral processes and reporting standards. Officially opening the training in Mansa, District Electoral Officer Dr. Josephine Mwanza emphasized the importance of responsible and professional election coverage, noting that the media plays a critical role in informing citizens during the electoral process.
Electoral Commission of Zambia
to just capacity build, or should I say, to disseminate information to us as media in Wapula on the etiquette of the electoral processes. It is important that as media in Wapula, we understand what the Electoral Commission stands for, what the Electoral Commission does, the electoral processes and procedures, because it is only when we understand and appreciate what Electoral Commission of Zambia, the processes and procedures are all about, that we will be able to go out there and effectively disseminate and cover information on the election activities that are going on. At this point, I want to declare this provincial media training officially opened. Thank you.
The Zambia Revenue Authority has donated 24,000 litres of seized cooking oil to 12 welfare institutions after the Lusaka City Council Public Health Unit certified the consignment as fit for human consumption. The authority said the gesture serves both as a warning to smugglers and as a means of supporting community welfare. Among the beneficiaries, the University Teaching Hospital received 280 units, while Chilenje, Chipata, Matero, Chawama and Kanyama Level 1 hospitals each received 120 units. Speaking during the handover ceremony on behalf of Zambia Revenue Authority, Commissioner General Dingani Banda, Acting Director for Executive Support Laban Sembeye, said the donation demonstrates that smuggling does not pay.
Smuggling cooking oil is now feeding hospitals and charities instead of lining pockets. Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA has donated 24,000 litres of seized cooking oil to 12 welfare institutions across Lusaka. That's 1,200 units of 12 litres each. But before a single drop was handed over, Lusaka City Council Public Health Unit tested and certified the consignment safe for human consumption. The beneficiaries tell the story of who needs it the most. The University Teaching Hospital UTH took 280 units. Chilenje, Chipata, Matelo, Chawama and Kanyama Level 1 hospitals each received 120 units. The Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit got 200 units. 6 charities were given 24 units each. At the handover, Acting Director for Executive Support, Laban Simbeye, spoke for Commissioner General Dingani Banda. His message was direct. Smuggling does not pay. Those involved lose the goods and the vessel used to commit the offense.
The seized consignment consists of 1,200 units of 20-litre cooking oil packaged in these buckets. In line with the provisions of the Section 204 of the Customs and Excise Act, Chapter 322 of the Laws of Zambia, which allows for the donation of forfeited goods for use not involving sale, the said goods have now been gazetted on Gazette number 545 of 2026.
For ZRA, the donation does 2 things. It warns smugglers and it supports communities. Mr. Simbe said the oil should ease operation costs for hospitals and charities, helping them care more and more people. He added that redirecting seized goods builds trust and creates an environment where paying tax makes sense.
We believe that such a gesture to your institutions will go a long way in improving the welfare of the vulnerable people in our society. It also enables us to create a positive social impact in our communities suitable for tax collection. We have no doubt that this donation will greatly reduce your daily financial and material needs for cooking.
Speaking for the recipients, Lola Gondwe thanked ZRA. She said the cooking oil will cut food costs and improve nutrition for patients and vulnerable groups.
The donation in particular will make it easier for us
as we conduct our operations in serving the vulnerable individuals, our patients, the community at large, because we also have part of the community that supports our patients in various hospitals, as well as the institutions that are also receiving today.
From seizure to donation, ZRA is turning anti-smuggling operations into community support. Anton Chomba, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
About 237 healthcare facilities on the Copperbelt province have been connected to the 4G internet project, which is being implemented by the Smart Zambia Institute in collaboration with IHM Southern Africa. Copperbelt Deputy Permanent Secretary Daniel Kamenga says the provincial administration and Smart Zambia aims to enhance service delivery through the fast tracking of files and to promote the paperless system in government institutions. Copperbelt Principal Public Relations Officer Marilyn Rose says Smart Zambia and government is implementing such initiatives to promote speed and time management in the healthcare system. Ms. Rose further said that Smart Zambia has also placed a dashboard in the Ndola Teaching Hospital, which is monitoring the levels of drug availability and the formulation of revenue caused by the recent introduction of the mobile payments method. She said the remaining 205 healthcare facilities from a total of 442 will be connected for the project has captured all healthcare facilities on the Copperbelt, adding that all healthcare facilities are expected to start operating on the 4G network system before the actual due date of July 15th, 2026.
237 of the 442 healthcare facilities on the Copperbelt province have been connected to the 4G internet. This is a project which is being implemented by the Smart Zambia, working in collaboration with the IHM Southern Africa. The 205 healthcare facilities, which are remainder from 442 healthcare facilities, are also expected to be connected before the deadline, which is June 15th, 2026. The Smart Zambia Institute has also placed up a dashboard in the Ndola Teaching Hospital, which is monitoring the levels of drug usage as well as availability. The dashboard is also monitoring the formulation of revenue that is being brought into the institution through the introduction of the mobile payments method. Apart from the health facilities, we are also pleased to note that 100 schools in Ndola as well, specifically in Ndola, have been also captured into this project. Thereby, the project aims to enhance service delivery through the fast tracking of files and promoting the paperless system in government institutions. As you may be aware, government is going digital, and the project aims to reduce on the costs that are being spent on the papers that are being bought for printing and record.
Thank you for that report. We take our last set of commercials. Coming up, sports news.
This June, Topstar is standing up for heat. Why shiver from boredom when Topstar can warm your home with exciting entertainment? Oh my God! Antenna Classic OD Smart. Get ready for unlimited blockbuster movies and captivating telenovelas on TNT and Novella E+. Enjoy endless drama, action and excitement on Star Life, Filmbox, AMC Movies, Z Cinema and many more. And because the little ones deserve the very best, Topstar is enhancing kids entertainment with their favorite cartoon channels, including ST Kids, Cartoon Network, Baby TV, Boeing, CBBS and more. That means more entertainment, more family time, more value for your money. Visit your nearest Topstar business hall or authorized dealer today to get your Topstar decoder, or simply dial *115# to subscribe. Don't miss a single moment. Topstar, enjoy digital life.
Are you passionate about making a positive impact on communities? Do you dream of a career that combines psychology, social justice, and community empowerment?
Enroll in our June 2026 intake for the Diploma in Child and Adolescent Mental Health, community-based work with children and youth.
Dive into a transformative journey of learning and advocacy.
Immerse yourself in courses that explore human development, social policy, and diverse perspectives. Gain hands-on experience through community projects and internships.
REPSI is a TVETA accredited institution and offers all programs through online situated distance learning. You'll be empowered with the skills to create real lasting impact in communities.
Join us in shaping a brighter, more inclusive future for children and young people. Enroll with us for a program that equips you with the skills to create real, lasting impact.
To start your application, email us admissions.zambia@repsi.org or www.repsi.org or our Facebook page @RepsiZambia or call 0770-707-924. Together, let's make a difference through love, care, and protection for children.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye na ni best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye na ni mo kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye na ni best kombucha. You drink best kombucha.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
Welcome back in sports news tonight. Zambia makes J-League Football World Games debut. Details after a word from our sponsor.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye na ni best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye na ni mo kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye na ni best kombucha. You drink best kombucha.
Details in sports news. Zambia will make history next month at the J-League World Games in Ireland. This will be the first time the country will compete in J-League football, a fast sport mixing football, handball, basketball and rugby. Lusaka club Sebos Shamrock will represent Zambia from July 13th to 18th.
Zambia will make history this July as it competes in J-League World Games for the first time. The tournament is set for 13th to 18th July 2026. Features J-League football, a fast-paced game blending elements of football, handball, basketball, and rugby. Representing the nation is Sebo Shamrock. Sebo Shamrock received a special invitation to the games. Club manager Padgren Ofanin welcomed the call-up, saying it offers a key benchmark to gauge Zambia's standing in the sport. His main goal is to showcase Zambian talent on the global stage.
Not only are we the only Zambian team participating, we're the only team from the continent of Africa participating. So there's a lot of weight on the shoulders of our young players, but we are certain, absolutely certain, they will perform with distinction and do Zambia and Africa proud. Our target is that, well, like all teams I suppose, our target is that they perform to the best of their ability. Now, if that is good enough to win, great, and if it's not good enough to win, well, you can ask no more of somebody than to do their best performance. They've trained hard, they've worked hard, they're looking forward to the experience. It is getting huge attention in Ireland, huge attention. They arrive in Ireland on July the 8th, and the next morning they meet the President of Ireland at State House for a reception. She is asked to meet this team.
Players Jackson Kuwema and Aaron Mukoma have vowed to give their all, pledging to work hard and chase victory to make their coach and country proud.
I feel nice because it's interesting because we will be traveling. Yeah, not only that, we're also participating in the World Games. Firstly, we have to win to come back with the cup because we are presenting not only Zambia but Africa at large. Yes, also to meet the new people that side.
As players, we are telling each other to build up, to be one, so that when we go that side, at least we make our big Bwana feel good, because he has to put in much effort, so we can't take validation.
Zambia's debut at the Gaelic World Games mark a new chapter for the sport in the country. Beyond results, the tournament is a chance to build international exposure, grow the game locally, and inspire more athletes to take up Gaelic football. For Sebo Shamrock, Ireland 2026 is both a challenge and an opportunity to put Zambian sport on a new map. For Crown TV Sports, Lenosi Victoria in Lusaka.
The 2026 World Cup is already facing scrutiny over access and fairness, with controversies around entry restrictions sparking debates before the tournament even gains momentum. Reports of players, fans and officials being denied entry have sparked debates about the tournament's inclusivity. For many soccer fans, the concern is that entry problems could affect the core idea of the World Cup as a competition open to all.
The 2026 World Cup is barely off the ground, yet questions of inclusion and equity are already swelling. Before momentum builds, disputes over travel bans and visa blocks have ignited debate. Experts warn that these hurdles strike at the heart of the tournament's values and the belief that the game belongs to all. Football commentator Yota Mwanza has called the situation disheartening. He points to 3 cases: a Ghanaian player refused entry into England, Senegalese supporters barred from the US despite having tickets, and a Somali match official also turned away at an American border. He says football thrives on fairness, unity, and shared joy, that FIFA must address this seriously when selecting future hosts.
Denial of, Pate, the Ghanaian player being denied to be able to enter Canada owing to the rape allegations in England. You could also be able to speak about the Senegalese, the fans that were stopped, the Senegalese fans that were stopped from going into America to be able to attend. You have the Somalian referee Atan, who also was denied a visa to get into America. I think it's a controversy. It shouldn't be. Football is about fairness. It's about incorporating each other. It's about enjoying the game. But when you find that football is being played on such levels, I think it's something that FIFA must be able to look into.
And fellow analyst Bwezanimbewe has argued the organizers dropped the ball on planning. He says if players cannot reach the pitch because of visa issues, then the playing field is not level anymore.
It's a very disappointing thing. We were thinking FIFA could have actually made better arrangements for the national teams. Okay, because, I mean, if you are stopped from entering due to visas, the competition is no longer equal. And I think the International Football Federation, which is FIFA, seriously need to look into this. Because if this persists, definitely it takes out something special from what the game is supposed to be. The fairness part is actually removed. My thoughts is, I think FIFA should actually be looking into it. It goes, it's actually a big lesson to both FIFA and CAF, who need to start looking into this as teams that are bidding to host major tournaments are actually inclined to these visas and difficulty in entering their country.
Loveness Simpson reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Lastly, in sports news, National Sports Council of Zambia Chief Executive Officer Sombwa Musunsa has revealed that the climate run has received overwhelming response. Musunsa says over 1,000 people have paid, while a lot more have registered. The run, which is aimed at sensitizing the public on climate change, will be held on 27th of July, 2026.
The highly anticipated climate run has drawn an overwhelming response. National Sports Council of Zambia Chief Executive Officer Sombwa Musunsa has revealed the run aims to raise public awareness on climate change. Musunsa says over 1,000 participants have already paid, with more still registering. He also announced the changes to this year's format. Success. Then, at the National Sports Development Center, NASDAQ. For Crown TV Sports, Lenosi Victoria in Lusaka.
Apologies for that break in sound. That's all that we had for you in sports news tonight. Another word from our sponsors.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
As we end the news tonight, a recap of the headlines. CONCOURT clears Membe and DOLIKA. Government denies musicians ban. Real-life polygamist exposed. And in sports, Zambia makes Gaelic football Wild Games debut. Thank you so much for joining us on the Grand News Desk tonight. A reminder to make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. That is Crown TV Zambia. My name is Chinyimba Daisy Lusumpa. Continue watching Crown TV. Good night.